Hey everyone, the name is Kris Barocsi. Welcome to Gear Corner. Today, we're checking out a pedal that is most probably the easiest to love fuzz pedal ever. And I know, big words and bold statements, we've heard that a lot. But if you follow my videos and know me, you know that I don't use clickbaity wordings and, bold statements in an irresponsible way. If I say it, I do mean it 100%. So, this is the Kasleder Germanium Vintage King. There's a silicon version, the original Vintage King, out for I think 2 years, maybe 3. So I've been waiting for this one. I was hoping that Albert Kasleder will make a Germanium version, and he tweaked it for years until he found the perfect mixture of sounds and components and everything. This is loosely based on a fuzz face, but the whole pedal and the sounds you can get go way past the standard fuzz face type of pedal or circuit. It has 2 very clever controls, the contour and the beard. We know the beard from the original Vintage King, the contour is new. The pedal is crazy. It goes from full-on, woolly, big, wonderful Germanium fuzz face type fuzz tone to an amazing overdrive. And I don't mean like a fuzzy overdrive, I mean like a perfect overdrive tone, to clean boost, to even treble booster type tones if you want that. It's insane how simple it looks like and how easy it is to understand and control the pedal, but still how radically versatile and different it can sound depending on what you need it for. It's crazy. I'll show it with single coilers, with humbuckers, with a Marshall style amp, with a Fender style amp, and talk about all the details. But first, let's hear it how it actually sounds like in a band mix. What you just heard in this track was the Germanium Vintage King setup for a fairly traditional fuzz face type fuzz tone. I'll show the rest just in a second, but first I want to show you what my clean tone is. At the moment I'm going through the Tone King Imperial Mark II on the lead channel, but it's not cranked. This is the traditional fuzz face type setting. The fuzz is maxed out, the beard is almost maxed out, which I'll explain later, and the contour is to the left. And now comes the amazing part of this pedal. It's ridiculous how easy it is. I'll go from a full-on fuzz face type fuzz tone like this to a super sweet overdrive tone with just twisting a few knobs. 1, 2, 3. And the fun part is that with this setting right now, I'm not very far from the type of clipping and tone of my favorite drive pedal that I use all the time. Again, a Kasleder pedal, this is the Toxic Twins. Now listen to this is crazy. It's not at all a fuzz pedal anymore. It's an overdrive and a really sweet sounding one. Of course, you can go even further with this and make it almost like a clean boost pedal or like a treble booster. It's crazy versatile. But let's talk about the two middle knobs, because volume on the left and fuzz on the right are pretty obvious. But in the middle, contour and beard, those do so much. Those do the heavy lifting, obviously, and those make the pedal that versatile. So let's start with the contour. This is in a way an EQ knob that will add a nice amount of sort of upper mid push to the tone if you crank it. So on the left side, it's the closest to the fuzz face, sort of warm and balanced tone. This is how that sounds like. And then the beard, which is something that we've seen on the original Silicon Vintage King, which is sort of a bass filter that is before the clipping, which means that if you turn it up all the way, for you it's that way, yeah. So if you turn it up all the way, you have all the bass frequencies hitting the clipping diodes, and with that you have that muffled, proper, big fuzz face type sort of clipping or drive. And if you start turning down the beard knob, you have less and less low end and bass frequencies hitting the clipping stage of the pedal, which cleans it up. It will sound less and less like a fuzz, more and more like an overdrive, or anything in between, of course. And if you go even lower with the beard knob and go fully counterclockwise or turn it down, you almost have like a treble booster kind of sort of bassless kind of tone, which is, of course, awesome with Vox style amps or like a really muffled cranked amp. You can just make it sound much tighter and use it that way. And now let's see how it sounds with a humbucker loaded guitar. If you know fuzz faces, you know that they're kind of troublesome with humbuckers because of the different impedance and the it's just the amount of low end and output as well that just makes fuzz face pedals, traditional fuzz face pedals, kind of tricky to use with anything else than Strats and Tellys and Jazzmasters, or like any other single coil guitar, of course. Now, the beard knob is what helps this pedal and the original, like the Silicon Vintage King as well, to work perfectly with humbuckers. And that's about as long as I can survive without playing my telly, so let's continue with this one. I want to show you how it sounds with a Plexi style amp. This is going to be the Germanium Vintage King going still into the Tone King Imperial for that Fender type of amp sound, and then when I found a setting that I like, I will swap over to the Friedman Plex to see how that compares. Well, no surprises there. The Plex just sounds ridiculously good with the same settings, by the way. I didn't even adjust anything. And in case you're wondering what the amp sounds like without the fuzz, it's fairly clean. So I set up the original, the Silicon Vintage King on my board right there, the same way as I almost always do. Fairly high fuzz setting, and the beard is backed off just a little bit. It's not fully maxed out, so that the low end is a bit more under control, and I just love that sound. It has a very distinct sort of hunky something about the mid-range. I cannot even pinpoint it, but it's just awesome and recognizable. So that's gonna be the first one, and then I'll turn on the Germanium Vintage King, the new one, with a very similar setting to see how they compare. Okay, my thoughts on the Germanium Vintage King. Well, you've heard the sounds. Whatever my comment is on that, you have to decide it for yourself. Of course, if you like it or not, if you even dig fuzzes or not. I cannot have enough of that kind of sound. I love silicon fuzzes, good silicon fuzzes for that nasty, a bit more wide and aggressive sound, and it's just wonderful. But I almost always end up using and loving Germanium fuzzes for that sort of sweet, dynamic fuzz sound. That dynamic, warm, and just interesting, still open sounding fuzz tone that is just wonderful. And the Germanium Vintage King definitely does that. And it's just even better with some stereo delay. I love that so much. It's one of the most inspiring guitar sounds nowadays for me, and it took me a couple of years, actually almost 2 decades, to get there. But once you discover that kind of fuzz tone and you enjoy paying attention to every single note you play, that is just a perfect combination. I love how it cleans up. I love the controls, that it's still so simple, just 4 knobs, and the 2 in the middle, the contour and the beard, just make it really super versatile. Not just for fuzz, but for like any kind of pedal, honestly. Like treble booster, clean boost, overdrive, almost distortion, and then of course all kinds of flavors of that Germanium fuzz face type fuzz tone. wonderful. It has top mount jacks. I would complain about that if it wasn't. It's perfect. There's a bias in the inside the trim pot if you want to crank it even more or misbias it and whatever, go cleaner even if you want to, but it covers so much ground. The amount of gain, the fuzz on the pedal is perfect this way for me, so I wouldn't mess with it. Clear recommendation. Test it out. Try it out if you can. All right, you guys take it easy. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the sounds you've heard. If there's anything you want to know, yeah, let me know in the comments below. Of course, hit subscribe and ring the bell and hit like and all those things. Those help me a lot because YouTube doesn't make it easy for YouTubers to reach people. It's the new thing. Yeah, whatever. All right, take it easy. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.